Hi, so I just came out to get some eggs and I got 6 in my pocket. 2 of the 6. Anyway, I was just going to come out and talk about how there's different ways that you can do nesting boxes. People think you need to have really fancy nesting boxes, and these are just old milk crates that we found, and they work great. We put this cover on because the young chickens, before they're laying, will come in here at night and try to poop in them if you don't block them off. But it's a really cheap, great way to keep the cost down when you're trying to figure out how to build your coop and what you want to spend money on and what you don't want to spend money on. Because realistically, what you want to spend the most of your money on is hardware cloth, because that is the most expensive part of building a coop besides your actual coop, which we had this shed on our property already, so we didn't really have to spend any money on this, just fixing it up a little bit. But yeah, that's just one way to kind of save yourself money. I've seen people use Home Depot buckets. I've seen people use just like all sorts of different containers. You can make wooden boxes if you wanted, if you had scrap wood lying around, or even like food grade buckets, but you really don't have to spend a whole lot of money on it. Even inserts, people will buy the nest pads. I don't do that. I just buy the hay that's in their coop. Just change it out every so often if it gets dirty. I don't typically have an issue with it getting dirty unless there's birds mixed in that are not laying yet, then they will. But our laying birds, they don't really go in there unless they're laying, so our eggs are pretty clean. Another thing we did is we made a covered run, as you can see. Honestly, it doesn't really keep all the snow out. We have some like metal roofing up there for the very back part of their run, so that when we go in here, they still have an area that isn't going to get crazy covered in snow, but most of it does, so we do have to shovel some of this out. But we have this area back here that we keep some straw or hay on with their food and their water, and we come out a few times a day to give them more water, check on their food, because they eat more in the winter time than they do the warmer months. But this part up here above me is not covered, so there's snow everywhere that we have to come out and deal with. That part doesn't get covered, and then we've wrapped a bunch of it in plastic as well. Just keeps the wind out of the coop and the snow from blowing in. So in the winter, when it's really cold or it's really snowy, they can still come out and eat. But again, most of them are in the coop right now because there's snow on the ground and they don't want to come out. It's not cold, it's just really snowy.